Dignitas right the record. Let's get into it. Got a little bit of a watermelon matchup here. Love that one. The pink versus the green. Falcons versus Dignitas to improve in the Swiss.
No matter how much teammates, the absent Wave will always bring us where we need to be. Thank you, Wave Punk. We're going to get game number 1 underway between Dignitas and Falcons. Round 2 has been quite electric so far, Hercules, and I'm hoping this one lives up to what we're all kind of hyping it up to be.
Yeah, I really do think it's either going to live up to the hype or this is going to be, you know, all right, put it in an email, take us home for the rest of the day type of thing. But I don't know. Dignitas has been kind of on one today. I'm excited to see what they bring to the table.
Jory is especially breaking curses this season. Getting far in the playoffs, the only team online in Europe to take down Carmine Corp. They ended up coming into this land with a lot of expectations behind them. Jack and Jory reuniting, adding Stizzy, who was electric in North America. He goes back to Europe, and he just looks insane on this team as well. But Falcons, every time they get to land, they're always a threat. They're always competing for a top spot. This Dignitas team, renewed, if you will, as they get out of a defensive rut right there.
Yeah, I've heard pretty much nothing but good things about this Falcons team while I've been here so far. They're going to try and keep that reputation very strong. Killers hand off over to TRK into the corner here. Stizzy try to take it away, manages to at least get a touch out, but of course Ruas is going to be right there ready to go. This Falcons team so quick to follow each other. Killers trying to do it by himself. He does. The second touch bounces down and in.
He's just trying to block off this clear angle as he puts it down. He gets this touch off the ground double, and then Stizzy actually is the one who gets in the way. He's trying to get out of the way, ends up doing the opposite, and it's an unfortunate own goal there for Dignitas.
I mean, you take what you get, right? At least it was pressure in the beginning of that one, so Falcons got to be feeling good. And off the kickoff, TRK almost sneaks one in. Killers goes, don't worry, man. I got you back every single time. Falcons up by 2.
I mean, Jack is the definition of stuck between a rock and a hard place on this play. He has to make sure he doesn't run into TRK, so he has to go low. Not ideal because the ball's a little bit higher. Then he has to wait for it to drop. And Killers is just, he's behind the ball. Jack doesn't exactly know. He knows he's coming. But then Killers just has him beat on positioning, and Jack couldn't do anything about it. So Falcons, 2 quick strikes to start the game.
And Dignitas really got to get back into this one quickly because Falcons are just they're a shooting machine, right? They're going to go a million times in this series, and Dignitas haven't quite been able to put a hand up just yet. This is one of their finer shooting moments right here. Jorius and Killers trying to duke it out for that ball there, but big clear from TRK. Pass over to Killers. Off the ceiling, down, bounces out. Dignitas gonna try and follow this one.
Any one of these players can take over a lobby. We've seen it on Falcons. Killers getting a nice start for sure. Dignitas not able to really find a lot of purchase in the orange half. Jack in the midfield will hold the line. Stizzy buys Jory sometimes to get reset, but you see how deep he is down on the midfield line. Got the boost. Touched away. Dignitas looking for something. Jack looked like he might have got it here. He does beat one defender. Saw Stizzy get there quickly, but no play. Jory is nowhere for him to go.
Right now, my eyes really are on Stizzy. He's that one player I want to see show what he's capable of. He was such a difference maker in the last Open. Of course, same can be said for the Falcons, finally having some hard competition out in MENA, but they come back on land and it's the same as always. Just routine, high-level gameplay. TRK just gonna nose this one down over to Ruas. Backflip into it. Straight to Killers. Stizzy already pre-jumped it up, trying to get a block. Jack's gonna have to bail him out on this one, and Dignitas forced to defend again.
Falcons giving Dignitas a couple of different looks when they get control of the ball. Killers tried to bring it down early to go for the bump. They tried just to force it with a reset earlier. A demo downfield opens it up for Ruas, and he got the hit right off the board. 3-0, Falcons rolling in game 1.
Ruas stayed so far up on this one. It was just like everybody was turning around. Jorius I didn't even know if he realized how long he had been there at that point. It's just a great sneak attack from the Falcons. 3-0. Only 2 minutes to go in this game number 1. Dignitas struggling to find their way out on this field.
Yeah, I mean, that's the beauty of getting that demo if you're Roas, right? You get to sit there for a couple more seconds, see what your team can do before you actually have to rotate back. And Dignitas, it's been a little hectic so far. It started with that own goal as unintentional as it might have been from Stizzy on Jack's attempted clear. And then Killers really made things difficult with an early 2-0 lead. Dignitas would love to just get something going here for the rest of the series. Trying to hold on to this ball. That's not been easy. Jack expected a challenge there. He thought he was getting something quicker, and instead he gives the ball up.
Yeah, right now Dignitas are pretty, I feel like as far as their standards go, disconnected right now. This is a team that their bread and butter are those passing plays and those infields. And right now the Falcons, they are giving them no space to do what they are great at, so they're forcing these solo plays out of them that are very unsuccessful right now, but same can't be said for the Falcons. Jack's gonna take this one away. 1 minute left to go, down by 3. They're gonna try and find something here to get their feet in the game.
Touch gets away from Stizzy, but he makes a great read. Ceiling reset as well. He's looking good for a second, but he just could not get that ball in a position. A little pogo pass attempt from Jorius. Getting cute with it here with 40 seconds left.
I love like, usually when they're down a little bit, you start to see like cheeky little random movements to get like morale up. Jorius air dribbling this one, no bump to follow, but 30 seconds on the clock. Stizzy up next in rotation for this. Can he outdo Ruas? Not quite. Jack next. They're just really trying to keep the ball going forward, but at this point, you just gotta respect the fact that the Falcons came out absolutely swinging in this game number 1.
Falcons, they do not get off to that slow start. Dignitas gave him an inch, and Falcons took the mile. Jorius will get one for the road, although I don't know if that's the feel-good goal that they were looking for. Sure, they're happy to get it, but game number 2, Dignitas will be looking for a not-owned goal to start the game.
Listen, at this point, it's nothing to complain about or be upset about. 7 seconds on the clock, though. Seen miracles happen, but off the kickoff, I don't think they're gonna find one here. Falcons gonna be taking this game number 1, maybe another one for the road home, as this one is still in play. Apparently Jack gonna send this one upfield. The boys from the Falcons want one more. They're respecting the ball in the air. Joey, I don't know, is this your rule 1, keep the ball up, or lock cards?
When I'm losing, just give me out, if that. But a lot of people high on this team, you can understand why. They showed you the accolades of this team. They've gotten close to winning a grand final, these players. They've gotten close in the RLCS, but not quite have been able to finish it. The journey is long. We start on Thursday. See what Dignitas have to respond, though. As Stizzy tries to get mechy with it a bit, and that's a monster shot from Jorius to the top shelf.
This is the play I was talking about, where you gotta have at least 2 players together, the musty forward, and the quick follow-through from Jorius is finally what gets Dignitas into this series. They're finding a little bit of hope, I would say, especially like you said, it was off to a bad start in that game number 1, so hopefully for game 2, it's a different tone.
Loss up quickly. Dignitas, you said their passing game is one of the marquee aspects of this team. Also those mechanics as well. Jack, here he is downfield trying to cause a little chaos, something you'll often see him doing. Once Dignitas get into a rhythm, he's usually headhunting downfield, trying to create opportunities and space for Jorius and Stizzy to get there. Stizzy holding on to the ball well, but couldn't make much of that. Just tossed it away to Ruas.
Ruas gonna try and keep this one in their possession. Actually manages to get past Jack. Killers sets up TRK. Jorius is gonna deny them on this one though, but very solid attempt from the Falcons. Just quick little handoffs, one at a time. Jorius is trying to 1v2 off this. Jack trying to finish the follow-up. It's up to the last man, Stizzy, but even then, not enough power to make that shot. But of course, in comparison to that game number 1, this is a much better Dignitas.
Jack concedes the midfield. TRK stuffed on the corner. Dignitas looking for a way out. The rule 1 was broken there in the corner.
Who broke
by
it?
Falcons. It didn't look like Jack flipped off of it. Ruas gets through one. Ruas finding his way through the gap. And an unexpected shot, at least from the second defender from Dignitas.
Trying to change the laws of Rocket League, breaking a rule 1 and then immediately scoring is not how it's supposed to be, but different rules for the Falcons as they get themselves into a tied game with Dignitas here. 3:27 on the clock. And off the kickoff, Stizzy gonna take his time with this ball. TRK, big clear, up to Ruas, to that backboard, delays it, times it, but Jack sitting in net enough to keep this one out.
How Jack ends up with that. That's kind of crazy. Wait, here's the pass, and the shot right through. Killers finds the lead for Falcons.
This is literally the Falcons playstyle. It is just one follow after the other, and you're kind of almost discombobulated at that point. You could see it with Stizzy. He didn't know who was going to make the next touch on it, just had to prepare himself and guess correctly. Unfortunately for him, it was the wrong one. Falcons up by 1 now, back in their lead.
Yeah, definitely a tough choice for Stizzy. You just gotta know that shot's coming. You know you have to be ready for it. Dignitas to fight back again. The corner, TRK no boost, forced to dump it away. Hitler sitting downfield. Dignitas happy to let him get that touch. They're trying to get back. Falcons start stealing those corner boosts. No quick read. Jory is keeping the ball tight. No boost left for him. Jack's trying to come back quickly, going off the roof, and too light of a shot, easily denied. Jack, great follow-up after Stizzy's save, but they can't get it clear right now. That corner boost was stolen, but Jack got his other corner. Jory has got that midfield earlier, and now Jack's got a chance to find Jory is on the far side, but it's covered by 2 Falcons. Roas credited with the save and wins the 50 back over to TRK. They just won't let Dignitas have any time on the ball.
No, there's no time allotted whatsoever, and they haven't even been able to get, you know, a demo or a bump onto the Falcons to open up some space for themselves to take a shot. Instead, it's another clear all the way back. Jory is forced to play deep in that third, demoed off, so Jack's got to race forward, manages to get there in time on this one. And TRK is going to try and drop it from the sky to Ruas. Manages to do so off the back, double high, but the bottom, not wide, just saved.
Just off the nose. Jorius gets demoed on the back line. Roas calling TRK off. They steal the corner boost, but they don't win that 50, and Roas gets to bail Falcons out on that play. Well, that's killing them. You can win the boost battle, but you need that follow-up 50 as well to really put pressure on. Otherwise, Killers is putting his second goal of the game in, 3-1.
He really is just all in their faces, but you do got to give a little credit to TRK, who was really messing with Stizzy on that one. So Dignitas had to send in the last-ditch effort for that save, and unfortunately for them, Killers was just faster.
And TRK got the boost steal as well, so there was just nothing that Jorius could do. And then Stizzy had to avoid him on the bump as well. Dignitas, this time not really their own worst enemy. Falcons just playing a rock-solid game. Down the field again, the possession has continued to be a struggle. Jorius tries, but Falcons diving forward on the challenge. Jack will keep it tight, makes a one move, but can't keep it going. TRK shakes him out. Far side looking for Killers. He's happy to take that touch. Can handle that one, no problem. Pass down to TRK, it's free!
Oh my gosh. I didn't expect there to be that much power off of that touch. This last one right there, right into TRK, but my goodness, it doesn't get any more precise than that from the Falcons. That is just pure synergy at that point.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Jack did his best to adjust there.
I did too.
He can't really get to the pass. You're stuck between 2 choices. Do I just go out and try to challenge that and look silly when it's over my head? Or do I try to read that touch? Well, after your first defender, whoa. First defender loses it.
Got a little ahead of himself on that one there.
This is a tough match right now for Dignitas. How about Falcons? Making a statement against the team. Again, we talk about the expectations that Dignitas have on them coming into this because of how they played online. You get on LAN, and it gets a little different. Nobody on this team is without experience on Dignitas, but Falcons been there, done that as well, continuing to show you why they are one of the threats of the tournament.
Absolutely. Falcons are just menaces to the entire world, and they're going to try and do it one more time here. Killers try to flick it on in with style, but 3 might be more than enough, but 4 is even better.
I'm loving that pass. 5-1 is the ending scoreline of game number 2. A perfect pass off the corner to put the cherry on top. And Falcons getting near the end of the baking time here. Be the faster team in the midfield. Falcons have been able to cover almost every time Dignitas get a clear downfield. You don't want to be dumping and chasing, but the touch quality from Dignitas beyond the midfield line has to improve as well. We get started with game number 3. Dignitas looking for a way back into the series.
Killers and Roas gonna just start this off that same way. It has a beautiful pass between the twins to kick off game 3.
I mean, it's classic. Jack up initially, no chance he's getting up to Killers. You see Roas coming, you try to cover it. Killers gets a great lead out to Roas, hits the backside of the net. Falcons are in vintage mode right now.
Oh my goodness, their synergy is just so much fun to watch, especially when it is just, again, it is very flow state. They're not overexerting themselves, they're not trying to force anything, it's just the way they play works beautifully against Dignitas right now. But Dignitas, I mean, you got 4.5 minutes to really try and find something. This moment right there is what has been so hard for them. They get that initial clear, but that follow is so slow, and it turns into these transitions. Of course, this time they are going to deny the double tap off the side, but Falcons, they just own this ball.
Dignitas have to find a way to actually start challenging these passes. That's the pass earlier from TRK to Roas was free, and Dignitas, they have the underneath. It looks like they could commit a man, but they simply won't in a lot of those situations, trying to go for a save or go on the back wall instead. Stizzy, no boost, just tries to hold the ball for the rest of Dignitas. Jack lining up Roas's touch. TRK kicks it away from Joria's. And Falcons just keep finding the space against this team. Stizzy has the read. Dignitas need to find the ball.
Let's see if they can find it right here. Roas number 1, center to Killers. I mean, it's like you said, it's classic, it's vintage. Falcons are gonna do it to him every time.
I mean, look at Roas, the touch right before. Perfect first touch, he's got control, and he says, come and shake it off me. Come and shake it off me. And he can see Joria's the whole time, so he knows exactly when to screen it out across. Roas is killing Dignitas on these passes. He is conducting a masterful performance for Falcons in this Swiss best of 5, and almost TRK found another goal. Killers got another catch up. Jack on the back wall gets the clear out, but Dignitas struggling to find their way.
Really, just I want to admire how quick Falcons are to be able to follow, but Dignitas finally have done it. The transition out comes through, but more importantly, after the initial clear, you can see how quick Jorius was to finish the shot, and that's what's been missing this entire time, those quick follow-ups, the trust that you're actually going to be able to put it in.
And Roas had that trust from Stizzy. He saw him get that touch towards the backboard, and he goes to defend the shot, trying to angle where it's going to go, and Stizzy lets it go instead. Gets a little messy. Dignitas will take it. Jack late to the challenge. Roas gets an easy kick downfield, double hop, but Jorias gets there in time. These are long challenges. TRK opts to not take that challenge against Jorias. Killers has a better angle. Pops out behind Roas. TRK bails him out, and it's off the posts. A little close for comfort if you're Dignitas.
No, it's beyond close for comfort. Of course, thankfully for them, they are only down by 1. So if you want to be close, that's the way to do it. Half this game left to go. Dignitas got to get out of their own half. They're going to try to here. Jorius up, Killer's already in his face. Jack and Stizzy both nose towards the ball. Quick follow from Jack is what they need, but unfortunately for them, it's that second touch that is constantly missing.
Jorius, this one's a time buyer. Jack had to go get a canister in his own corner. Now he's ready for this one. Pot shot. Midfield boost on the right, taken by Jorius. And the boost spawns for Stizzy on the other side. So Dignitas, you've got the boost, but you don't have the ball. Killers just weaves his way around like a master tailor, but can't quite finish the job. Still, it's like you win the boost, but Killers just works his way around you. Falcons starting to get a little starved. Killers the only one with amount of boost. TRK finally gets a canister. Killers buys all the time needed for Falcons to get reset. Now stealing the corners, stealing the ball, getting some buffs. Jorius is forced out of the play for a while. And Killers starts to squeeze. Nobody's in net, and he can't put it on target.
Jorius just had to make a leap of faith off that shot. Though thankfully he was able to keep it out, that's not going to stop the Falcons from taking more shots. It takes more than even a clear right here. Stizzy had taken it out. And Killers immediately sends it back. Jorius, another hand up. Falcons still leading by 1. Just over a minute left to go. And all of these shots, Jorby, are just wasting the time that Dignitas need to be able to formulate some sort of a plan.
Stizzy had a good start to this. And Killer's getting up there as well. It looked like Ross would have been able to control it, but he did not want to risk the challenge against apparently Jack. And Falcons will break out, chew a little more time off the clock.
Ruas, little pop-up. Jack's going to take it away. 50 on the clock here. Dignitas desperate to find each other, but Stizzy's got to respect the clear. Goes back in time, off the backboard. It's low enough boost to keep it out, but that no way is very valid because they're still pushing forward.
I think that shows you how desperate Dignitas are. The Stizzy's just trying to go for psychos now. He's trying to find any way to get through Falcons. Just keep on pushing their pedal to the floor. Dignitas trying to keep pace, but they keep on losing it. Takes the last man to make a stop. Apparently Jack runs into Rolas. TRK holds the ball. Jorius gets his corner boost, but gets bumped. Killers not gonna be on target. They gotta go right now. Jack forces the 50 underneath. Stizzy, not a ton of boost, and Killers was already ready for it. Jorius will try again. There's nobody available anyway. Stizzy's got no boost. The corner spawns after he leaves, and he's got to try to get the flick, and he gets absolutely zero height. Falcons win 3-0 in Swiss round 2.